Apex Legends launched on the 4th of February this year, just a bit over a month ago. Within a few days, within a week, it had had 25 million signups. It has now got over 50 million players, and that's in a free-to-play game which has skyrocketed with massive success ever since its launch. Apex is a great game because it combines the quality of a AAA title in a free-to-play. It's done by a company who knows what they're doing. They produce Titanfall 1 and 2, and they're quality games. They're not buggy from the start, and for the most part, Apex has had a pretty good launch in terms of bugs and other problems. The one issue that Apex has faced since launch more recently is hackers. Now this is what every game is going to face, obviously, since it launches. There's always going to be some people who want to hack because of reasons, and it ruins the game. Apex has had a bigger problem with hackers because it is free to play. It is so much easier for a hacker to come in and create an account, get banned if they do get banned, and then that's it, they're good to go. To counter hackers in Apex, there's really not a good way. There are a lot of hackers. To see the scale at which hackers are in Apex, I think it was just within like a week or two, they had banned 350,000. Now out of 50 million players, 50 million signups, that's not a lot. Since the hackers are able just to go create new accounts and boom, they're back in the game. For the larger reason why there'll be 50 million signups is because new accounts. But still the number is quite large for that amount of players. That just show, and that's not all the hackers. There are that many that have flown under the radar. It's actually crazy. And it really shows how big the hacker problem actually is. Hacks are being advertised everywhere, all over the internet, all over YouTube. You can search up Apex hacks on YouTube and you will come up with so many different videos advertising hacks, different channels advertising hacks. There is a lot of profit that the hackers are making from Apex, and because it is a free-to-play title, they don't really have to pay for anything. There is an article that I will link in the description where it talks about how hackers have cleaned up on Apex because of what kind of game it is. It is a massive selling point for them. Free-to-play, they've got so many different hacks: speed hacks, wall hacks, recoil removable hacks. It's everything you could think of they've got, and for a lot of them it's like $30 a month. So considering you've thrown out the fact of having to pay for a game, it makes it so much more accessible to everyone to be able to hack. They pay for the hack and that's all they have to do, and the hacks are crazy. I have encountered quite a few. We encountered 3 in the one day, and that was probably within a couple of hours of each other. So to give you a bit of a picture of what hackers are making, this is from that article which I will link. There is a dev cheat developer who made $7 grand in 4 days from selling his hacks. That's massive. That's a huge, and this is what makes hacks so profitable and why a lot of people do it. The creation of the hacks, not the hacking itself, or technically they're not really hacking because they're not actually coding it or anything, but they're buying the hack, so they're technically hackers if you want to look at it that way. But it makes it it's a profitable market for these people, and that's why it's constantly going to keep happening unless there's some way to stop it. The first way I want to talk about to stop this is probably it's got its drawbacks. You could talk about region locking. Now region locking has got its drawbacks on several points, because yes, it does stop a lot of the hackers, because a lot of cheaters are from China. They had a thing from BattleEye which came out that 99% were hackers from China. So region locking that area would make it a lot better. They tried that for PUBG, I believe, and it didn't really work because of wonderful little things called VPNs. Now people can just reroute their location to make the game think they're actually in a different country when they're from China, so it doesn't really stop the issue. I've seen a lot of streamers using VPNs to try and counter the hacks by going to different servers, and maybe that's an effective way to do it, but it's still, it does have its drawbacks, and obviously it's not going to work in every occasion. So that's one possible solution, but it's not that effective. So one thing I have seen as well now, this is probably the last thing I want to talk about in this video, is a hardware ban. This is actually something that has surfaced in the Apex Reddit. I'll link that in the description as well. People have actually come forward reporting that they've been banned and their hardware has been banned in Apex. They can't essentially play Apex at all. They create a new account within half an hour, the account's been flagged and they've been banned. So a hardware ban is essentially just fully stopping them from hacking at all on that account, on that computer. And again, that makes it very more expensive for them because they have to get a whole new system, and completely the old hardware is useless essentially. Now this is probably one of the more effective ways to do it, and I don't understand why it hasn't been just a lot of other games that could do it haven't done it. It'd make the game a lot easier to cut back on the hackers. And again, if they enforce a better reporting system or a better anti-cheat that can actually get around the hackers and their cheats that they're using, because a lot of them are undetectable and very hard to find or counter. So again, if they could do something, if hardware bans was a more used method, I think it'd be pretty effective. Because from if you read this Reddit post, there is a lot of people coming forward saying that they've been banned. And one drawback of this is the fact that they could sell their PC onto someone who then gets that computer, and that computer's been banned and they can't play that game. So again, that's that is one drawback to be using that method, is it does essentially punish someone else who had nothing to do with it. So it's effective method, but it does have consequences down the path for anyone who uses that PC who actually didn't hack. The one issue with the anti-cheat as well is the fact that EA are behind it. From what I've seen and from what I've read, there are different levels of anti-cheat, and essentially Apex doesn't have the best anti-cheat it could. So that's obviously allowing a lot of hackers to get around it, and the hackers have figured out that it's very easy to, and they're just creating hacks for free use, not for free use, but for very easy use across the platform. And that's essentially, it's hurting Apex on the PC side of things, because it is essentially it's ruining the fun for a lot of players, and just making the game just, you're not really gonna having fun when you're getting destroyed every match by something which is literally impossible to counter. So yeah, again, it's a very interesting topic. Fighting hackers is always going to be a losing battle. It's always going to be very hard to do, to beat that. So I have seen a lot of level 50s that are clearly hacking, but they've had the account for that long and they haven't been banned, and they haven't been backed up. So it is a massive issue, and hopefully there's something that EA Respawn can do about it. Hopefully the anti-cheat is amped up a bit, and hopefully the reporting system can be further improved. I have seen that they have put a report system in now where you can report the person that's killed you, but at the end of the game, if it's the final squad, you can't spectate the person and you can't report them. So if the hacker wins the game, I have not seen a way to be able to report that person yet, because they are the last person and technically you can't actually spectate them. I personally haven't been able to. They may have changed this by the time I get this video up, but yeah, it's definitely one little thing that needs to be fixed. But otherwise, it's going to be going in a good direction if they try to keep improving what they are. But the issue they have is they can't take too long to do this, because hackers have killed games before, and just completely ruined player bases. So hopefully the solution can be solved in the near future. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on cheaters? Why do you think people cheat? It's just because they're shit at the game. Personally, that's my opinion. I've seen hackers without the cheats, they're just complete garbage. So obviously they're just trying to make themselves feel good, and boost their ego. But yeah, personally, I don't get why personally you do that. You wouldn't, like, why not try to improve yourself at the game? That's always what I've tried to do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.